Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good. And we're going to be diving into cancer support. We're here with the program director for Gildas Club, Middle Tennessee, Allison Yonker. How are you doing, Allison?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, definitely appreciate all you do in terms of support and guidance and workshops. We'll talk all about it, but give us a little bit of history starting in 1998 for Gildas Club, Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, so we opened in August of 1998. We're an affiliate of the cancer support community. We exist because of Gilda Radner, essentially. She had ovarian cancer, was diagnosed in 1986, was a part of a support group. When she was going through her diagnosis, felt like it really made a difference in her life. But at the time, she was going to a place called the Wellness Community, and the Wellness Community was just for women with cancer. So she loved it, but she thought, there's a lot of people in this room who have family members and friends who also need support. So that's where the idea came from. Obviously, people other than just women get cancer. So she really wanted a place where anybody could go for support, regardless of who they were, if they had the diagnosis, if they had a family member with a diagnosis, all ages, all stages, all of that. So that's kind of how we exist. And then we opened, we were about early in the game. I think the first Gildas Club opened up in 1995, and we came along a couple years later. So we're happy to be here, lucky to be here. Sandy Towers is our founder. She was our executive director for many years. So we are very grateful to her for making this happen.
I mentioned at the onset, you all do a lot. And so go ahead and walk us through when you talk about the programs, talk about the support networks, the workshops, you have mind, body, wellness seminars. So you have a lot that you do. Go ahead and start unpacking it.
Yeah, so we offer something for everybody. We have weekly support groups, cancer support groups, and family support groups. So cancer support groups are for people who are going through a diagnosis, who are currently in treatment, whatever that treatment is for them. And family support group would be for family members of someone who's going through treatment. And that could be a spouse or a partner or an adult child or a parent or whoever that is. And it's facilitated by a clinician. So there's a professional in the room, although we're doing everything most things by Zoom right now. So they are facilitated. There's no agenda. We do ask people to commit to those groups because that's how you can get a really good support network going and you really get to know the people in the room. So that's one way for people to be involved. But we also have a diagnosis specific groups, like a breast cancer group, a lung cancer group, multiple myeloma, and then things like issue specific that would be like a group for young adults with a cancer diagnosis or a group for people who have finished their treatment and are looking for those, just for support in the things like, worrying about recurrence and why isn't my life popping back into place just like it was before I had cancer? So those are some of the ways people can get involved, but also yoga and Tai Chi and educational opportunities. We have a beautiful clubhouse here on Division Street, right kind of in the heart of Music Row, and people can come by. We've got a resource library. It's also a place where people can come and hang out between doctor's appointments. We were closed for a little while during COVID, but we are here and we're masked and we're trying to be as safe as we can be. So this is a place, it's a clubhouse. People who join here are called members, but there are no dues or fees of any kind at all. Everything we do is free.
What do some of the numbers look like in terms of who attends the support groups, number of individuals and families overall? Talk about some of the stats.
Well, we've had through the years, I think we're up to about 5,000 members who have gone through that process. So the process is coming to an orientation, which is virtual at the moment, and then meeting one-on-one with a program staff person who's a clinician, a social worker kind of person, to kind of figure out how you want to get involved. But so we've kind of gone through that process with 5,000 people over the years. COVID has changed the way people use us a little bit, and it seems to be changing again. So we're evolving yet again. So, we had pre-COVID about 1,000 visits each month. People were coming in. That's dipped somewhat, but it's funny that the support groups are stronger than ever. We've got more people coming consistently than we ever have. And a lot of that is probably due to the fact that it's virtual. If you're not feeling good, if you can't get out of bed that day, people are still able to turn on their computer, open up their app on their phone and still be a part of that support group. So our numbers are different, but they're still good.
What's been the feedback on the support group side? Talk about what it means to the individuals and the families to be able to tap into that and to know that you're supported and you're a part of something bigger that can pour into you.
Oh my gosh. We have such a variety of people who come through our doors, and including some people who have the best support from family and friends. They have a huge network of people. They have people, they're longtime connected families to Nashville. But when you have a diagnosis of cancer in your family, to be in the same room, to be on the same Zoom call as a group of people who really understand what it's like to be doing what you're doing is just, you can't duplicate it, to have people who really understand. And we do separate the groups for cancer support and for families, just because, your spouse, your partner, your mom, your adult child, there are some things you don't want to share with them just yet. And to have a support group to be able to talk through some things that you really need to talk about, but you don't really have anybody to talk about it who understands. And who better to understand than somebody who is doing that exact same thing. So it's beautiful. I mean, our support groups, we have a couple different days and times to choose from for both the cancer support group and family, and they connect all the time. Their group might be weekly, but they're connecting via text, especially the last couple of years, they're connecting to go for a walk at the park. They're, meeting on each other's porches. So just to have people who really understand and to get you and you feel comfortable with, there's just an instant connection, and it's so sweet to watch.
What would your words of encouragement be for someone with a loved one who is battling cancer to turn them to you and to say, hey, here's a chance to tap into this amazing resource? What would your words of encouragement be for them, especially as a first time, newcomer to the organization?
There's no reason to do it alone. It's never going to be easy to live with cancer, whether it's your own diagnosis or a family member's diagnosis. But there's no reason to try and do this by yourself. And especially as cancer treatments begin to change and shift, and people are living with cancer for a really long time, that it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and you might be fine to do it on your own for a while, but boy, it's a marathon, and it's hard to get through that on your own. And, there's just so much to be learned and gained. And sometimes you have questions for someone that's not a medical professional, that's not it's not for your nurse or your oncologist, but it's just for somebody who's gone through what you were going through. And this is the place to meet those people.
Yeah, nice. You have a number of opportunities to plug in and support your efforts. You have upcoming events. Talk about some of the different ways the community can support your efforts.
Yeah, so we have Gilda's Gang. It's our second annual 5K. It's at Shelby Bottoms on April the 2nd. Registration is just $35, and kids 12 and under are free. You can sign up on our website. It's, we had Gilda's Gang as a training program for the marathon for several years. But then last year we jumped in there with a 5K at Shelby Bottoms, and people it was in the middle of COVID, and people were so excited to see each other. It was an in-person run. And we were really excited to see people. It was just like everybody was bursting at the seams to be outside and talk to other people other than the people that they live with. So that's a super fun opportunity coming up, and you can check out our website. We have a songwriters night coming up as well, golf tournament in the fall, but definitely Gilda's Gang on April the 2nd is the thing that we're pushing and working on real hard right now.
What are some other ways, either through volunteerism, in-kind opportunities, sharing your expertise? What are some other ways the community can help?
Yeah, so all of our workshops are done by volunteers. So when you're looking at our program calendar, when you go on our website to check that out, the support groups are all done by clinicians, either who are on staff or that we contract with. But all those workshops, all the Tai Chi, all the educational opportunities, yoga, all of that, they're all done by volunteers. So if you have a special skill you want to share, whether that's arts and crafty kind of thing, or we had guitar lessons pre-COVID that we would love to have again. So any kind of talent you wish to share, we'd love to have that, but always need help just, with events, things like that. Gilda's Gang will need some volunteers for that. There's an opportunity to sign up for that on the website. We've always got, everything we do is free. So we are always looking for ways to support our mission. Free, we think about, or I think about, free is not cheap for us. So, but what's important for us to stay free because cancer is expensive and we want to be able to offer all the things that we offer for free. So, supporting us just by donating in kind opportunities, lots of, opportunities to donate for our auction that we have in the fall for the Red Door Bash. So yeah, if you're interested in donating, reach out. Would love to talk more about that.
And the symbolism, obviously, when you started, it was the red door. So there's the red door. So talk about the symbolism of the red door.
Yeah, just the first Gildas Club in New York City had that red door. It's just that open, welcoming environment. And that's really the thing that we try hardest to do is have this open, kind, welcoming environment. It's not a doctor's office. It's not a clinic. It's a comfortable home-like atmosphere. Our group rooms look like living rooms, and they really look like living rooms since we've been virtual. We're in people's living rooms, so we do try to make it a comfortable environment and relaxing. So,
as you mentioned, everything is free in terms of being able to provide the support services. And so obviously leaning on volunteers, but as you mentioned, the financial contributions are extremely important. When you look at the budget and kind of where things are headed, talk about what it takes to really run Gildas Club of Middle Tennessee. And so talk about kind of the numbers that we need to be able to help you with the support.
Yeah, so we get a lot of donations for supplies for our workshops and things, but the skill and expertise, a lot of the expertise resides in our staff. And so we have to pay those salaries. We have to pay those people who help support the folks that we're trying to serve. So, we're lean and we're mean, and we're accustomed to being nonprofit employees, and we all do a little bit of everything. But that's important to support our staff. We have a beautiful building that we own, so we have to maintain that. So that we're in the middle of budget season right now, so we're looking at what next year's going to look like. So COVID's been an interesting time with fundraising and things like that. But Harriet, our CEO, and our development team, Molly, she's working super hard to make sure that we're running and can keep going and doing all the things that we want to do for all the people that we want to serve.
Give me one or two of your goals looking forward. We're still early in 2022. So when you look at the rest of this year and beyond, give me one or two of your main goals.
Gosh, I would like to be able to expand our reach a little bit, to be able to serve some of these communities that we haven't been able to jump into quite as much. And I would like to just re-engage some of the people that we may have lost through COVID, that just the time that these folks, some people aren't as digitally connected as we would like. So we're working on that right now, working on trying to re-engage those folks and make sure they know that we're open, that they can come in, but also still have that virtual aspect that's so important to people with cancer, because for some folks, it's just not safe to get out and be amongst people just yet. So,
yeah. Wrap up with contact information. So website, social media, phone numbers, emails. Where would you direct us to go to learn more about Gildas Club Middle Tennessee?
Yeah, probably the website is the best place to go, gildasclubmiddletn.org. And you can reach us. All staff members have their email addresses listed on that website. So anybody you want to reach out to, me included, you're welcome to do that. Development opportunities on that website. There's a wish list on the website. So if you want to donate some in-kind things, we have an Amazon wish list, of course. You're welcome to take a peek at that. And then opportunities to volunteer and register for Gilda's gang there. So we do have social media as well, that's on the website. So that's probably your best bet.
Makes it easy. So Gildas Club, middletn.org. And most of the social media is Gildas Club mid-TN. So that makes it really easy, or middle TN. So easy to find, as you mentioned, all over the place. But website again, Gildas Club, middletn.org. Thank you, Allison, for all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.